because the way he shoots him in the shoulder, he throws his right hand up in his face and then proceeds to put his left hand up as if he's like, like if someone was pointing a gun at you and you're like putting your hands up, you're trying to like back up, but he's like a monster. He's putting his hands up and he's dead ass like walking towards him. That was, bro, that had me locked. What's up, guys? On the screen here is the official trailer for the game that will be launching on Xbox, PlayStation 5, and PC later this year. They just released a gameplay trailer just roughly 2 hours ago. We're going to run back the official trailer and then we're going to watch the gameplay trailer. Now I've watched a couple seconds of it leading up to the gameplay portion of the trailer. We're going to watch it all the way through with you guys, and I'm going to give you my kind of raw reactions of it. But first, we're going to run back this original trailer, the official trailer that launched during the Summer Game Fest, and let's see what they said. All right, and that was the official trailer. On Steam, it's being touted as a realistic first-person action horror game that takes you into a dark fort overtaken by a mysterious entity, unpredictable monsters, a visceral dismemberment system, and realistic physics create an atmosphere of relentless terror. Now, based on a lot of what you see in the trailer, got me kind of hooked. The fucking big ass head coming through the hallway, the fucking, what was it, the damn, early on you had that big ass group of monsters whenever he cut that corner early on in the beginning of the trailer here. Like this part right here, having the enemies, like he just picked up the can, like looked at it and threw it at you, and it looked like you either shot as you got hit or you got hit and you shot because you got hit. Like right here, I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be sketchy. This is gonna be a real edgy game for me. This is gonna be my first entry into like the horror games. This will be my first work. I'm not gonna play anything until I can get my hands on this. I really hope this releases later this year. I really hope it releases later this year. So like stuff like this had me like hooked in, bro. I was like, okay, this might be kind of cool. This is another thing as well, the way he kind of like shot this like creature's arm off. And then the bro just like looked at his arm. Bro just kind of like, hold on, let me meet real quick. Bro just looked at his arm and was like, what? Did you just like take my arm off? And he's like, all right, and I'm gonna come get you. And then like this stuff right here, this reminds me of what movie was that? I can think of the movie. I'll put it in here. Was it Conjuring? No. It was It Too. It Too. Old girl goes to see the lady that lived in her old house, where she stayed with her dad, and the old lady went into the kitchen to make the cookies and turned into this. So if you haven't seen the movie, I'm sorry for giving that away, but that's what this reminded me of. This part right here, kind of like that old lady creature coming in, almost like I said, kind of like inspired by it. Got the long legs, the odd shaped body. This scene kind of had me too. You do see this creature. I think this creature pops up in the gameplay trailer. I don't want to spoil it too much for you guys, but I think this creature does pop up is chasing you. I think in the big early uh stages of the gameplay trailer. There's another shot of dismemberment system or whatever. Like shoots him in a knee and kind of like collapses. Now there's like kneecaps like shot off. So he has like, kind of like limping now. And then another thing is these things right here, these kind of like unit soldiers. So there was gonna be like, it looks like there might be like an inside outside kind of thing. But they did show like, those little the planes, not the planes, the carriers showing up and dropping these guys off. So I'm wondering if these are gonna be like bosses or whatever you gotta like avoid, that you can only fight in certain times. He's got like a full mech suit on, got the power legs, so he can, and then bro just immediately points us at him. It looks like a nice little 50 cal on the fucking arm cannon. Then you get this shot of shoots him in the head, blows his whole back of his head off. That looks pretty cool. Now I'm probably might get copyright strike for this video, but it's okay. Not copyright strike, but like monetize YouTube things. Y'all know how YouTube is about stuff like this. But this scene right here, when I seen this, I was like, oh yeah, I'm locked in. Like it creeps me out, but I'm still fascinated by I think it's called megalophobia, like fear of big objects or something like that. So like this stuff, like it creeps me out, but it fascinates me at the same. Like I don't know, like it's weird. It's weird. It's a weird little feeling. But when I seen that, I was like, oh yeah, I think I'm locked into this game, not gonna lie. And then that's gonna be the official trailer. And then this part right here with the babies. And this is coming from Mudfish, the same people that I think brought the same team that brought Atomic Heart, and they're going to be basically I think like a publisher of sorts for this game. This game's going to be made by Team Clout. This game is, I think it's Team Clout and like partnered by and then published by Mudfish. But I think it's a team. I'm not mistaken. It's a Team Clout game being published by Mudfish Powerhouse. Because I think on Steam. Yeah, on Steam, on Steam it says developer and publisher is Team Cloud. So I think it's being backed by Mudfish. So now we're gonna play the official gameplay trailer. Like I said, I've seen a couple seconds of it going into it. It's not super long, but I've seen a couple seconds of it coming out of the cinematic, going into the gameplay. So let's lock it in. official gameplay trailer. So let's run it back, because a lot of people are feeling like this game is really too good to be true. And honestly, I think we're going to start getting a lot of that with Unreal 5 games, with Unreal 5 games like 5.6 or going into Unreal 6. As we get into Unreal 6, I think we're going to get a lot of these like, damn, that's too good to be true. Damn, like these really good, realistic games. The only problem we're going to step into now is optimization. We're going to be going into a unoptimized launch, going into more unoptimized launches, as well as unfinished games, as well as less content up front, because there's so much work going into making the game look hyper realistic, hyper immersive, like really going into the detail, the lighting and stuff like that. These stuff, in my opinion, this stuff is really, really good. At the same time, I feel like it is going to be like, what's the word here? It's going to be like almost like the downfall of good games. Like it's going to look good, it's going to look really pretty. The content's going to make really good like content, whether it's for YouTube, whether it's for the company. But at the same time, we might end up with an unoptimized game. We might end up with an unfinished product. We might end up with a buggy mess, or just not a full game. You know what I'm saying? Or well overpriced. But let's get into this. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about. I want to talk about the gameplay and the game trailer. As we get here, the lighting looks crazy fucking good. And I'm thinking this is going to be one of those games where sound plays a big part, as you've seen towards the end of the trailer. Now, I wonder if you can see your full body. I know it doesn't technically matter, but I feel like it kind of matters in games like this when it's first person. It seems kind of like checking like every hole, so I wonder if like these creatures can come like out of anywhere at any point. Now, another thing is, I do hope there's more of these types of gameplay mechanics. These, we're not going to tell you what you could do, but you can do it kind of things. Like really layered gameplay. Example would be like, there's a puddle of water, and if I shoot this cable, the cable will drop down, touch the water, and the water becomes electrified. I mean, like not that specific, but something like that. The fact that he goes over here, he gets this wrench, comes back, and instead of, you know, it's saying, hey, use the wrench to unlock the thing, he's like, and then the key pops up saying, hey, take off the lock. I hope there's more of these gameplay mechanics throughout the game. And right here, when he kicks the can, I wonder if you can see your full body. It doesn't matter, but it kind of matters to me. I feel like it matters. But when he kicks the can, I wonder if sound's going to play a really, really, really big part. But it seems like a lot of the times when you're fighting these creatures, you're in like these really close quarter kind of claustrophobic areas. So movement is going to be very important. This is another thing. When you look, when you shot him, he shoots him like kind of like in the shoulder and the heart area. You see how he puts his hands up? That to me is like, this is the parts of the game or games in general where I'm starting to take notice. Like, okay, this is kind of cool. This is kind of cool. The fact that AI is kind of like reacting to you. Like the more we get more of this is what's going to make games more immersive, not the really detailed graphics and stuff like this. You could have average graphics, right? Kind of like 2015, 2018 graphic video games. And then add this kind of AI immersion, AI reaction to the gameplay. And you're going to have a totally different game, bro. Totally different game. Because the way he shoots him in the shoulder, he throws his right hand up in his face and then proceeds to put his left hand up as if he's like, you know, like if someone was pointing a gun at you and you're like putting your hands up and trying to like back up, but he's like a monster. He's putting his hands up and he's dead ass like walking towards him. That was, bro, that had me locked. So this is going to be another one of those too good to be true games. And with what they're showing us, I hope. Another thing I wish like companies would stop doing to kind of like give players a little bit more hope, because I know it doesn't really technically matter because you can still do this and it still be a scam game, but like show the UI, right? And I feel like when games don't show the UI and they want like, ooh, this nice little cinematic, you can kind of like soak in the environment and get a deal for the tone. No, like we know it's a game. Like just like allow us to believe it's a game. You know what I'm saying? Like give us some kind of faith to ride on. And even though I think this is gonna be one of those games where there's not a lot of HUD elements, you know what I'm saying? There's probably gonna be like just like a stealth stamina bar, like a loudness meter or something like that. I still feel like you should probably show that in the game to make it less too good to be true. Like this scene right here, whenever he goes through the doorway, right here, and he's going up the steps, like this part right here can definitely be seen as too good to be true. And without like a HUD element and layers to the gameplay trying to show off what you would see at full release, I feel like kind of sets that tone of this might be a scam. And I don't know, I have faith in it a little bit just because it's being backed by a company that released what was at the time a really good product, or being reviewed as a decent product at the time, or from what I remember of the product, or from what I remember from the times, I mean. So I'm looking forward to the game. There's no release date, and I'm just hoping the game is what it's saying it's going to be. I hope it's not some slop of bullshit. I hope it's not a short game either. I hope it's decently long. I hope it can hold its weight, because it seems like a lot of games are trying to go for that Resident Evil crowd. You feel me? Because this Resident Evil crowd is really like diehard Resident Evil, and the new Resident Evil looks pretty good. I don't know if I'll do a trailer reaction to that, just because it's not my genre. This is a new genre of gameplay to me, but that's not like my kind of game. But the gameplay trailer does look pretty dope. But this game's going to be releasing on PC, Steam, Xbox, and PlayStation 5. I'm really hoping this game is going to live up to the hype. A lot of people are saying, like I said, too good to be true. I'm really leaning into hard faith on this one. All right, so that's the gameplay trailer and the official trailer for Ill. There is no release date. Hopefully it comes out later. If not this year, like later this year, like November, December, hopefully early maybe like Q2 of 2026. Hopefully not. Well, it probably can release around GTA 6. Fuck it. Drop it like around Q1 of 2026. That would be nice as well. Let me know what you guys think about this game. Let me know if you think it's too good to be true. You think it's a scam. You think it might be the next big thing. You think it might be high. You think it's mid. You think it's meh. I'm going to play something else regardless. Not my cup of tea, but I'm looking forward to it. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And oh yeah, if you guys want to see some horror gameplay or shooter gameplay, make sure to check out my Tekken channel, Tekken These Frames, where I'm going to be covering all things Tekken news when I can, and really anything fighting game related. I'm going to try to cover the new Invincible fighting game when it comes out. I might cover Marvel's Tekken or whenever it comes out, depending on the characters I release with. If it day one drops with Ultron, we're probably going to be trying the game. If it day one drops with Ultron, we will be trying the game out. Like the video, subscribe. Make sure to check out that Tekken These Frame channel, Tekken These Frames. I'll put the link down in the subscription in the comments. Make sure to check that out, and see you guys in the next one.